All right. Things are loosening. Things started loose, and now they are looser. I pot up all the mics because I don't know which is which. It's Oedipus, and Juanita's joined us in the studio. Juanita, find a microphone.
You know, we didn't muscle in on your last show.
That's right.
You did a beer call. And
I did not do a beer call. I said I am looking forward to my beer.
Okay.
Yet I do appreciate that you brought me beer.
I also have to admit, because I left a CD here last night. It was important to me. It was my last song, Willie Alexander. It was on this DIY compilation. And I didn't bring it home with me. I figured, okay, I'll come in and get it.
Did you hear Sushi Bar Rap?
Oh, Sushi Bar. Do you remember Sushi Bar when we used to serve sushi? We used to make it on stage and then serve it to the audience.
Right, it was part of a...
While we did the rap, I'd make sushi, because I'm such a Japanophile, right? And then we'd serve it to the audience.
Right, it was a multimedia show with music and video, and it was like performance where you, or sometimes I did it, would make sushi and feed it to them. And then Greg Hawkes from the Cars was actually involved in that song, Sushi Bar Rap, as well as you.
He is so talented. He's doing this ukulele thing now. I mean, talk about a multi-talent. No, really, I know it's funny, but he can play the ukulele like Stevie Ray Vaughan can play the guitar.
Speaking of Stevie Ray Vaughan. All right, I asked you a question earlier. You know, you lived a life of putting out fires, and leveraging one force against the other. You know, it had to be stressful. And I know that you had particular theories about how you got record companies to do stuff for you, or how you did what you do. Okay.
Well, record labels like to be the great diplomats. They like to, give something to this radio station and something to this radio station and something to this radio station. And my attitude was, you give everything to WBCN, and then we decide what you give to other radio stations.
And if you were...
That was the way it worked. It was WBCN. And that was it. There was nothing more important than WBCN. And if I didn't like the way you divided up the pie, I was vindictive. What can I say? You screwed WBCN. No one screws WBCN. And there was this one time, Epic Records and my good friend Harvey Leeds, who comes to stays at my house, but he'll never forget this. He gave something to another radio station with Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I said, what? We're the only ones that play Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'm glad they're going on the record, but we champion this artist. He's the most amazing guitarist. We played him when he was just like hitching up with David Bowie in the early days. Hello, we're the Stevie Ray Vaughan station. That's it. We're out of business. Don't ever bring me an Epic record again.
And of course, his career depends upon you adding his songs.
So I just shut down the record label. What we got out of it was we got a free show at Avalon, plus a live broadcast of the legendary Stevie Ray Vaughan.
So how do you work that? You let him like sweat for a while, and then you say, Harvey, what are we going to do?
No, well, he called me up, said, what can we do? I said, here's what we want. This. So we had to spend a fortune to do a live broadcast so the whole WBCN audience, the entire Boston audience, gets to hear Stevie Ray Vaughan live in concert. Everyone gets to get in for free, which is amazing. And then on top of it, we get a dinner afterwards with Stevie Ray Vaughan. We went to Davio's on Newbury Street. Man, getting drunk with Stevie Ray Vaughan. I mean, what could be?
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you would actually deep down inside be glad when you would be dissed by a label, because then you knew there was big payback coming your way.
If there wasn't big payback, there was no business. This was business. I mean, this was business. They wanted to do business. We do business, but we defined how business was done.
It was a struggle. They tried to control us, and we,
You don't control BCN. You don't control Boston, especially you dudes out of New York. We're Boston. I mean, this is like the Yankees and the Red Sox. Hello, the Patriots and the Giants. No one controls us. Talk about a sports metaphor, because we're going sports. No one messes with Boston.
Speaking of sports,
ever, ever, ever.
I think I got a cool memory that we both might have forgotten. Do you remember, and this is wicked, we actually played softball with Joan Jett. Joan Jett wore a full-on wool, actual, real baseball uniform.
Baltimore Orioles.
And played second base. She was so seriously into it.
I went to a game with her, the Red Sox versus the Orioles, right? And the Red Sox kicked the Orioles' ass. I mean, they just kicked them. We're in Fenway Park, and she is so upset because I'm cheering for the Red Sox, and she's flipping out because they're losing. She took it so seriously. We also played softball with Huey Lewis. Do you remember
I remember that. That was at the Boston Common, wasn't it? Actually,
it was at the Boston Common.
Some people say we played somebody at BU.
We raised five. No, we played it. You're right. We played at BU. Not
Okay,
Boston.
all right.
Maybe we played them twice.
I don't know.
We raised a ton of money for Jimmy Fund.
Right.
Juanita, did you ever play in any of these games?
No.
The BCN Ball Busters. Sorry to include you. You're way over there, Juanita.
No. I'm just listening.
Go
I mean,
closer
this is
to-
amazing. This is before my time. So
We're getting the real deal now. This is like the first time this info has come out.
yeah.
There's something else that I had to say, but I totally forgot about it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play a song. Yeah. Like, I want to play something.
Okay, I'm going to look for my CD. It's here somewhere.
Something
I know
kind of
it's here
upbeat,
somewhere.
something for everyone. Wait a minute. It's this iTunes thing. You see, it's tough to. Give me a break. Here we go. I like the
CD players.
Yay!
Here we go.
Okay. WBCN, we got about. Dude.
I remember the night the kid cut off his right arm. In a bed to save a bit of power.
What am I forgetting? Am I forgetting something? I don't think so, dude. I think, it's so freaking surreal. In 45 minutes, it's over. 11:19, 40 minutes. 28 or 7 years. It's been the muscle, bone, sinew of my life and his life, everybody around his life. And then in 40 minutes, it goes to static. And not only that, people out there who want to listen to rock, they want to listen to BCN, they want to listen to the BCN vibe, the BCN thing. They're up the creek without a paddle. And they're floating in a raft somewhere out in the middle of the ocean with no rock. It's tough. Okay, here we go. Let's talk again. I mean, I got to say, I would be remiss if I didn't say I'm freaking out because it's 11:21 and in 39 minutes now, Oedipus and Juanita and everybody in this room and everybody not in this room, it goes away. What does that mean to you? And what do you think and how do you interpret that it means, what it means to the world of Boston, if you will?
Well, I guess history will have to.
But I mean, it's going to go to static. It's going to go, and you're going to be in your car driving home, and you're going to. Can you imagine what that's going to feel like?
Well, WBCN will be reborn in other forms and other ways. It's the Zen. I'm looking at the Buddhist aspect of it.
Well,
nothing lasts forever. It dies and it's going to be reborn. BCN will be reborn, and it's being reborn already. Sam Copper's making it reborn, and it'll come back in other conglomerations. It'll come back, when Clear Channel has to divest their radio stations and other people buy them and turn it over to very creative people and say, okay, run our radio stations, make them magical again. Okay, when it stops being corporate like that. And it's going to happen again. WBCN will reemerge. It'll be like the phoenix. It's going to come up. It's going to
rise again from the ashes.
Absolutely.
Juanita, why don't you grab a microphone? You got one?
I have one, yes.
I never really talked to you about this, but you worked at some half-baked radio station before, and then you came here. What did it mean to you? You're a rock chick. You were in a band. You played the guitar. You were badass.
A great guitar.
Yeah.
She played
She played great, and it was a great guitar.
Thanks, guys.
What does that all mean to you?
I think it's sad BCN's going away just because new bands have such a hard time finding an outlet for music, and where are they going to go now? I think it's really hard to track down that 18 to 34 audience, and it's hard to find them and know that they're listening, and that's why this format partially may be going away. But it's so important, I think, to have one place where you can go, where you're going to find awesome music. Like Oedipus's show, for so many years, I mean, people would sit by the radio and write down every single song you played and go buy it the next day.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
Everybody has that story. Everybody.
Oedipus, listen to this. I was living, my first place, 1726 Comm Ave, came from the University of New Hampshire. Lived on a couch for 9 months. I'm taking a bath. I know that's kind of wimpy, taking a bath, but I was taking a bath.
Nothing wimpy about taking a bath, Bradley.
And I had the radio on. It was just a station. It was WBCN. And you came on the radio and said, I've just come back from London, and I've got a big stack of records, and here they are. This is a big deal. I went over there, and I met these people. I met the artists, and they gave me these records, and I'm going to play them for you now. And one of them, was Gang of Four, Damaged Goods. I'm like, I'd literally like, oh, my God. Next, Nina Hagen, Cosmo Shiva, maybe. I don't know. That you went out, and you found the rock and blew me away. And so that's why I made 4 tapes, which all sucked. Finally, I know. Finally, I get the call. Bradley, when are you going to do your first show? I'm like, oh, so that was awesome. It's a big deal to have that memory in my head, which seems a billion miles away, and having you sit right in front of me right now. It's a huge deal, and I imagine at 180 you feel the same way. And I know that I speak for Mark Hamilton and everyone who grew up, no diss to the jocks who didn't grow up around here, but the jocks who grew up around here, and BCN was their thing, their god as kids. To actually be part of that was a big damn deal. And to have you sitting here is a big deal.
Well, I only hired the best. You are. You're the best.
I'm just glad the radio didn't fall in the bathtub.
Oh, I know. So, by the way,
or we wouldn't be here today, would
Hamilton's having a party over at the Middle East, and I guess everybody's going over there. People say, where's the party, blah, blah, blah. So, Oedipus, do you know what my last song is going to be? Can you guess?
I have no idea, and I'm not going to be here because you have to do your thing, and that's what I've, as you said.
That's how you operate.
That's how I operate. I don't need to be here. I need to be...
Because you trust me.
No, completely. And I need to be in... I know it's going to be magical. I need to be in my automobile blasting it full volume, because you can't play it as loud as I'll play it in my car. And because I'll be singing along.
All right.
I'll be a tear in my eye, and I'll be also joyous.
All right. I very much appreciate you coming by and being a part of this broadcast. I very much appreciate you being part of my life. Same with you, Juanita. And Roger and Gino here, both, are parts of my life. Roger for 15 years. Roger's the production guy who's been awesome for a long time. Production means, Roger, come say hello. Come on, man. Put that damn camera down.
If Josh or Dan O'Brien finds my CD, my massive CD, and the last song I played on DIY, I really need it back. I mean...
Roger, you've been a voice here for a long
Oedipus,
time.
You have a million CDs.
I know, but don't you know...
Let it go.
Yeah, dude.
This was the Boston compilation one. I need this CD.
You have two copies of every album or CD ever made, even the bad ones.
I do have all the
It's weird. I remember Planet P or something. You have 6 copies of that. Some crazy thing. Now, Roger Moore, you've been, behind the scenes here for a long time. I think it's time you stepped to the microphone.
Do you know who was my first employer, who I worked for?
Employer, no, who would that be?
I used to answer phones for you Wednesday nights from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. back.
Was I a strict but generous master?
Well, that was just before the Sex Palace, and you were enlightening. To say the least.
Do you know? By the way, before we forget, I want to say that Jonathan Kraft used to come by that show. Jonathan Kraft is the coolest guy ever. He's a rocking guy. He used to come by and pick music and hang out on the show.
Jonathan Kraft of the New England Patriots.
Yes, Jonathan Kraft.
That, the president of the New England Patriots. That Jonathan Kraft, right?
He came by, and he's always been the best and coolest guy. You mentioned that show, The Sex Palace. He used to come by and hang out, and he's always been very generous.
Jonathan Kraft, Palace. I love that.
Listen. I got to say, not only that, Jonathan is the most generous guy. One time, Oedipus, let me tell you this story. I went to Israel, and then I got in a travel jam.
Okay.
I called Jonathan Kraft because I was in a real jam.
Would you have his cell
You're like, what? You're right. Why did you call Jonathan Kraft? Because I guess he used to hang.
He was connected.
He was connected, and he helped me out of my travel jam from thousands of miles away. He didn't have to do that.
No, he called the Prime Minister.
He went way beyond the call of duty to help me out. And Jonathan, I am forever grateful to you for that. You didn't need to do that. And thank you very much.
He gave me a Patriots jersey with number 1 on it when I left BCN. It was pretty cool, man.
It is. How much do you want for that?
It's not for sale, dude.
Right.
My name's on it.
Hey, do you remember when we had our?
You want to see my Super Bowl ring? Ooh.
Do you have? No, wait. You have more than one, right?
Yeah, I do. I do.
2, 3.
I have 2.
That's obscene. It's obscene for you to have 2.
And an American conference championship ring.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they look like bracelets on my finger, but...
all right, thank you for coming by. I should play a song. It's only half an hour till the end of the end.
Bradley, rock on forever, my friend. Into the future. I love you.
You too. I will see you around campus, as they say. What do we play? You know what? This song here kind of has the feel, the right feel. Everlong. It's WBCN.